We're back with a brand new Uzi video. I want to do a tier list of his whole discography. Yeah, it's been a little bit since we did a tier list. The last one was the Whole Lotta Red one, which did good. You know, Love Is Rage, this is my least favorite. I gotta be honest, I really don't think he found himself yet. I feel like a lot of Uzi fans might hate that. You know, it's gonna be a hot take, but it does have a handful of songs I do like. I'll mention my favorite songs when I get to each project. So my favorite off this one is Paradise, because that song is a vibe, and that is up there for one of his best songs. And there's a few other ones that are good on that tape. I do think one of his better projects is LIL UZI VERT The World 1, which he followed up with, which is honestly probably an A. I wouldn't give it an S tier. S tier's got to be damn near perfect, you know, his best, but I think it is one of his best. I think there is a couple skips on here. Song-wise, he completely leveled it up. My favorite songs are Canadian Goose or Money Longer, and I just think the hits on this song, because you gotta remember he started off crazy on this album. You know, he had High Roller on there as well. There's P's and Q's, You Was Right. I mean, there's just so many classic Uzi songs. Yeah, like I mentioned, there's a couple songs that still gotta grow on me. I do like that it is a short project. You know, the mixtape's only 9 songs, I believe, and my goodness, is the cover art beautiful. One of the better cover art. That's one of the best cover arts we've ever seen in hip-hop in this day and age, in my opinion. This is where I think Uzi found himself, and I feel like these just have classic Uzi songs, classic hits for him. This is kind of really when he started to blow up. You know, I feel like this is when I found Uzi, probably. Next after that, we get the Perfect Love tape, which was the same year, I believe. I don't think it was on the same level though. Yeah, I don't go through these tracks as much. Few skips on here as well. This one is hard to pick your favorites. I would say this is where good feature performances come in, because you got Cardi on there and Future, and Offset I believe was on there as well. I do think he did level up on the features, and you know what I'm saying? Again, he kept the project short, which I enjoy. This was only 10 songs, so he's really feeding the fans, putting out more classic Uzi songs. I just wouldn't go through this album really, but this is one that has grown on me quite a bit, because I kind of just set it off to the side, but more now I go back to, you know, my favorite songs on there. That's kind of the early part of his career. I gotta say, the next one, Love Is Rage 2, is clearly his best so far on this tier list, so I gotta give S tier to that, mainly because it is damn near perfect, you know what I'm saying? Especially the way that the album starts. 444 plus 222, that is probably my favorite song off the album, and then that's followed by Sauce It Up. You know, that's probably tied up there for my favorite on the album. You got No Sleep Leak, The Way Life Goes. That insane opening 5-track run to the album is crazy, and there's just hidden gems in probably the middle to the second half of the album. Of course, you have the iconic EXO Tour Life on there. That song was literally crazy and one of the biggest songs in the world. You have other fan favorite Uzi songs like Neon Guts, 20 Minutes on there. This album was so consistent and so good. It is always a great listen to go through this. It has a lot of nostalgia to it. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. This is where he leveled up even more. I feel like this earlier on in Love Is Rage 2 could be considered the peak of his career to some people. I'm not gonna be that harsh on him, you know what I'm saying? That was 2017. This was a wildly successful album and fan favorite. I do think it's his best, so it is gonna sit up there at S tier. It took him about 3 years until he hit 2020, and we finally got Eternal Take, which we're on to next. I do think this album is A tier, and that's because I don't think this album has had the longevity. I was really biased in 2020 when Eternal Take came out. Great quarantine album, you know, that was one of the soundtracks to that year. No, it was one of the better albums of 2020, don't get me wrong. It just wasn't Uzi's best work. I love that he tried to do different characters and have the story and great mixing and all that. Eternal Take was a dope concept. This cover art is also really insane. Uzi has honestly some of the best cover arts in the game. I was looking at the track list, Love Is Rage 2, you know, I look at those tracks and then I pull up Eternal Take side by side. I look at the track list, and it is just clear to me without even listening that Love Is Rage 2 is better. You know, I was someone, like I said earlier, I was pretty biased when this came out. This album was so hype. I've said this so many times. This album was crazy, bro. I remember in class, we had a countdown on the whiteboard, and everyone was freaking out when this album dropped. They were playing in the hallways and lunchroom. It was literally crazy. One of the craziest days of high school ever. One of the craziest album drops, if not the craziest album drop in my lifetime. So it's how are you not gonna forget this? It sold what, 300K, 250K, his highest first week sales ever. You know, his rollout was part of the reason why I got into wanting to make hip hop content. It's still one of his better projects. way overhated. I hate how people just dog on the album so much. It pisses me off. So I will stand my ground and say it is still a good album, just not his best. A week later, though, he follows up. He drops Lil Uzi Vert Verse the World 2, which I feel like is right on par with it. I feel like most people like Lil Uzi Vert Verse the World 2. This is where it had, you know, the fan favorite snippets and just leaks finally put out. It had collabs with Dirk, Nav, 21, Future, Thug, Gunna. I mean, there's a lot of features on majority of the songs, as well as a lot of them, you know, being fan favorites, like I had said. I forgot to mention my favorites on Eternal Take, but I'm gonna go like Prices and Futsal Shuffle, and then on the Deluxe, my favorite was kind of an obvious pick, but Myron was really good. It was a little bit shorter, didn't have a concept to it. It felt like just a mixtape of songs thrown together, just like the first album did. I remember those couple weeks in March were crazy, dude. He flooded everything, and all these songs were on repeat. Some of the songs on the Deluxe, Lil Uzi Vert Verse the World 2, which we're talking about here, were just as good, if not better, than some of the original songs. So I think it's another A tier, and definitely sits at one of his better albums, not his best though. I'm someone that likes Pluto X Baby Pluto quite a bit. I do think some people dog on this album as well for whatever reason with the Uzi hate train. Now that I look at it, this is one that I bumped. But really, I haven't really gone back to it. I really haven't gone back to it a ton. My favorite song on it is That's It. And it did have other good songs on it, you know, Drinking and Smoking and, you know, Over My Head. You know, there's some other good stuff in the track list, but I remember this is what, I think this album, you know, once they deluxed it was 20 something songs, 22 maybe, I want to say. It does have a handful of skips, and I really don't go through the tracks anymore. You know, when it came out, I was bumping it. It's kind of one of those situations where artists kind of come together, put out a collab tape, just fill that contract, you know, that their labels, you know, got for them. So maybe they're trying to get out of it, or just maybe they're trying to feed the fans or whatever. And it's like, it's not like they actually locked in and tried to make the best album they could. An honest rating here, and you know, this is technically an EP, but this is a kind of a full project, 9 songs, 10 songs, whatever. We covered Red and White on the channel. I really, surprisingly, with this summer, I haven't really been too caught up on new releases, so I feel like that impacted, you know, me listening to Red and White that much. I have been on it the last like week or so. I've been bumping Red and White a little bit more. I will say, it's just, you know, this is still a brand new project, but it is, you know, just throwaways, kind of old songs. It's just to hold us off for Pink Tape. And Pink Tape has been long awaited for like over a year now, year and a half maybe. So we're going to see what we get with that. We're going to cover that on the channel. And I feel like that could be his best project. It is totally possible. Red and White though, because it's, you know, basically I like every song for the most part. I would much rather go through that than the first Love is Rage. I know I'm dogging that album this video. He's one of the best discographies in hip hop and in trap music. So let me know in the comments below, W or L tier list. Let me know your favorite Uzi album in the comments down below. That's all, folks. We got videos with Complex Production coming. I'm going to interview him, as well as a Leroy concert vlog. We got crazy shit going, so the channel's been going crazy. Thanks for all the love, and I will catch you guys soon. Peace out.